Hi guys, I'm Bree Ashley and I want to welcome you to my next video. Thank you for everyone who visited the website thebrelife.com this week. I've got a crazy number of feedback and I just think it's amazing, and thank you so much for just checking out the site. Even if you spent 1 minute on the site or 5 minutes on the site, it's really appreciated. This video is called Farewell. And, the last 24 hours for me have been crazy, like just different emotions. I've been busy. I haven't really been sleeping that well, not like I used to. I keep waking up in the middle of the night, and I think it's just because I've got so much on my mind. And so, someone last night, they said, if you knew someone had 3 months to live, do you think it's more important that you visit them before they die or show up at their funeral? And I couldn't even answer the question. And I was like, that's a deep question. And the first thing that I thought of was that it depends on the relationship you have with the person. And, this individual, they said they weren't close to the person, not a lot of interaction throughout her life. And so, I still couldn't steer her in the right direction. And I said, this is a tough question. I was like, I'll be right back. I was trying to just think about it, and I was like, I'll be right back. And, when I was thinking about it, I was thinking about the last few people that died that were close to me. And the last person was my grandma. And, I didn't have that opportunity. I didn't know she was going to die. I didn't know she was going to have a heart attack. There was no warning signs. There was nothing. And so I think it's a blessing for someone to have that choice and say, hey, I've got 3 months left. You can visit that person once in the 3 months, once every week, whatever you feel is comfortable. But for me, I wish I had a warning. I wish I had something. My only option was to show up at the funeral. And then what do you do then? I don't know. I'm still looking for answers. And so last night I asked someone else. I said, I asked him the same question, and he said, I think it's important to be there before they pass. And he went on and told me this long story about his grandma, and he told me about all the stuff that he did while she was alive. And the thing that touched me the most was that he set up a video camera and didn't tell anybody, and videotaped his grandma's last days on earth. And he caught all the family, all the gatherings they had, and it's a memory. And it's all creativity. And honestly, I wish sometimes as human beings we were more creative like that. And we're so caught up in this thing called life, and we're so caught up in just trying to live life and trying to understand our purpose in life, that sometimes the easiest things, like spending the last few days with someone in the family that has done so much for the family, and you miss out on it. And I wrote this story called A Virus, and I really, really, really want you guys to check it out. I wrote it when I was in college, and this was the first story I put on my site, and I did this for a reason. It's a little strong, it's a little intense, it's about death. And I had a friend in high school that died from a brain tumor. And my little sister also had a friend that, when she was in high school, that died from a brain tumor. So this story just means so much to me. And honestly, for years, I never dealt with the feelings. I never dealt with any of the feelings that I experienced. And someone once told me, if you don't deal with things, they're going to come back and haunt you. Any way, shape, or form. It may come back as stress. It may come back as anxiety. You never know, however it comes back. But one thing I really want you guys to think about is, how do you deal with life events? Do you get stressed out? Do you go have a drink? Do you smoke a cigarette? Do you work out? How do you deal with life events? And The story is it's just two characters. Avarice is the first character. And avarice is actually a synonym for greed. Look it up in the dictionary if you don't know what it means. And the other character, I named her Eason. And Eason is actually the word nice spelled backwards. So this story has a lot more to it. There's a metaphorical meaning to it. It's not about a girl that dies. It's not about a friend who, misses a girl that dies. It's totally also metaphorically. And, basically avarice dies at the end of the story. But if you think about what I just said, avarice also is a synonym for greed. And so really, at the end of the day, greed is dead. Greed is no longer living. Greed is like poison. Like in America right now, there's so much greed. I don't even like talking about it because it just makes me sick. And, in this story, greed dies. Eason learns a valuable lesson, but greed dies. And once greed is dead, she's able to think about things and move on and understand why things happen the way they happen. And I just really I can't explain the story. Like, you got to just read the story. And once you guys read it, if you have comments, questions, like if you don't understand it or want me to explain something, or you want to share your thoughts about how it is, like that's what my website's for. I want you guys to connect with each other, share each other's thoughts, even if it's just a topic, or even like send me a message and I'll blog about it. Like, I just want you guys to think about things and connect with me, connect with each other, because we're all going through the same thing. I don't care if you're young, old, black, white, whoever you are. We're all experiencing the same things, just in different ways, in just different forms. And, the question was, if someone has 3 months to live, are you going to see them before they die, or are you going to show up at their funeral? You can't do both. That's the question. You can't do both. You have to pick one or the other. I want to know what you're going to pick. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to pick because I'm still thinking about it. It's so deep. I'm still thinking about it. Like, I want to blog about this so bad, but I can't even really find the words to say to blog about it. And, all I can say is that, my grandma was the sweetest person on this earth. And I have turned just like her. I mean, everything she does, I do now. And it's crazy, but that's how I lived through her. So if she's really nice, I'm going to be really nice. If she's a social butterfly, I'm going to be a social butterfly. And, sorry, excuse me. But, one day I got sick and my sister took me to the hospital. And I had like a bag of crackers in my bag. And my sister was like, Grandma used to walk around with crackers in her bag. And I was like, I know. But some of the stuff I started to do because, like, my grandma did it. And so, if you have the opportunity to spend time with someone before they leave this earth, I recommend that you do it. But I also recommend that it is important to show up at a funeral and, pay your dues and pay your respect. And, I think there's nothing more important than a funeral speech. And I had the opportunity to write a funeral speech for one of my close friends. And it was amazing. It came out amazing. And, sometimes we just have to think about death in a different light and just, think about all the good things that person left on this earth. And, this is called Fairwell. And that's Fairwell. Because sometimes we don't think it's fair. Sometimes it's not fair to say goodbye, but that's what we have to do. And so, I hope you guys enjoy this video. And just be ready because you never know what you're going to get from me. This could be totally fun. It could be intense. You may be crying at the end of the video. And that's okay because that's what I want. I want you guys to be yourself. I'm totally being myself right now. You see my hair? It rained again today. By the way, if you haven't checked out A Drop of Rain, the video, you need to check it out, and then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But you know, thanks again. I know this video was a little bit long, but I promise I had a great message, and I want to continue to deliver these messages. And visit the website, www.thebrelife.com, and you know, feel free to contact me. I don't care if you guys call me, text me, email me. I'll try my best to respond within 48 hours. Thanks, and y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all next time.